Hari Om. Kolhapur, a city steeped in history that has produced many a fearless warrior. Blessed with the bounty of Mother Nature, Kolhapur is today one of the most prosperous cities in the state of Maharashtra. Despite all these positive attributes, the bitter truth that stares at us in the face is that even after 60 years of attaining independence, people in many parts of Kolhapur district, particularly the interiors, continue to live below the poverty line. Non-availability of basic facilities such as education and primary medical care has given rise to such social ills as blind faith and superstition. The local inhabitants are predominantly dependent on agriculture for their livelihood. Marginal holdings of land and the vagaries of monsoon has left them struggling for survival. This year's medical camp, the fifth such camp, was made possible due to the combined efforts of Sri Aniruddha Upasana Foundation, Dilasa Medical Trust and Rehabilitation Center. The preparations in Mumbai and Kolhapur began in right earnest at least 3 months prior to the camp, with medicines being packed, labeled and stacked systematically. Uniforms for school children were stitched from the cloth made from Charkha Yojana. Uniforms were made to size based on the measurements actually taken from each of the students from the 104 schools covered under the camp. At village Pendakhale, the villagers came together and made available 10 acres of fertile land for organizing the camp. Around 5 acres of land was properly leveled and covered with a layer of cow dung so as to hold the ground firmly in place. Local village folks turned out in large numbers to lend support to the preparation. In the last 3 days leading to the camp, the villagers cut down on the consumption of water so that the requisite amount of water could be stored for the camp. The distribution material comprising of clothing, utensils, tooth powder, soap, washing powder, anti-scabies lotion, comb, etc. are neatly packed into bundles. The volunteers take special care to explain to the villagers the use of certain items such as water purification liquid, anti-lice lotion and anti-scabies lotion. The use of the comb and the anti-lice lotion has eradicated an age-old social ill wherein young girls, upon developing matted hair due to infestation of lice, were offered to God and then forced into a life of prostitution. The Devdasi system, as it has come to be known, is now a thing of the past. While the distribution of articles was in progress, a separate group of veterinary doctors and volunteers went about examining and inoculating the cattle and livestock in various villages. In anticipation of a large turnout, a total of 32 counters have been set up in the registration section. The volunteers posted at each counter help the patients in filling up the registration form. The registration formalities completed, patients are then directed to the OPD section, where a team of 83 doctors are waiting to examine them and, if need be, direct them to the specialty ward. Others are prescribed medicines and directed to the pharmacy. Within minutes, the OPD section is a beehive of activity. The specialty ward houses an ENT ward, a pediatric ward, an orthopedic ward, and other dedicated wards for gynecology, surgery, X-ray, sonography, echocardio tests, ECG, pathology, and dermatology. The state-of-the-art medical equipment for X-ray, sonography, echocardio testing and color Doppler testing lend an entirely new dimension to this camp. The increased awareness among the people to have proper dental care was evident from the large turnout at the dentistry section. The ophthalmic section probably attracted the maximum number of patients for any single discipline. By the end of the day, spectacles had been distributed to as many as 1,530 patients. With all routes within the camp complex leading to the pharmacy, the volunteers in the pharmacy section had the task well and truly cut out. But they rose to the occasion and handled the huge crowds with apparent ease. Attention was paid to such finer details as pasting the dosage instructions on the cover containing the medicines, so that patients did not have any difficulty in understanding the dosage instructions. One of the highlights of the Kolhapur medical camp was the participation of 7,634 students from 104 schools situated within a radius of 50 kilometers from village Pendakale. For each of the schools invited to the camp, the volunteers of the Kolhapur Upasana Center had noted down the name of every student class-wise, had measurements taken for clothes and footwear. The details for each of the schools were then sent to Mumbai for facilitating purchase of footwear and stitching of uniforms. The children then proceed to the waiting section to await their turn for being examined by the doctors. After examination, each child is given the relevant prescription, a bottle of tonic and deworming tablets. Arrangements are made to supply the tonic to every student throughout the year. The children are then directed to the distribution section, where every child is presented with a pair of slippers, candles and matchsticks, 2 pairs of uniforms, a box of crayons and a packet of dry fruits. The candles and matchsticks enable the children to study in candlelight because they do not have electricity at home. The distribution of slippers, candles and matchsticks and uniforms are the result of a detailed research carried out under the 13-point program. More than 4,000 charkhas are regularly run by volunteers, and more than 1,30,000 meters of cloth has been used to make uniforms. The slippers are meant to provide protection against a certain type of bacteria that thrives on human and animal excreta and enters the child's body through their feet. The bacteria then settle down in the duodenum and the small intestine, where it breaks down the red blood cells, causing anemia. Each school is presented with a cricket kit comprising of bats, rubber balls and stumps. The joy on the face of every child as it is presented with articles is indeed a sight to behold. The children then proceed to the Annapurna Prasadam section, where they will be served hot, delicious and wholesome food. The Annapurna Prasadam project today covers 30 schools and more than 3,500 students. By the end of the day, more than 42,000 people have partaken their meals under this project.